Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you the different ways that you can sell your designer handbags. I do get a lot of questions about how to go about selling your designer bags that you're not using anymore. And as you guys know, I have downsized my bag collection over the years. Even before I started my YouTube channel, I did buy and sell some designer bags. So I wanted to share my experience. I'm a big believer of selling on the items that you're not using because first of all, financially, if you end up selling the items that you're not using anyway, you will get some of your money back. And second of all, someone else that really is looking for that bag can get a bit of a discount on the bag of their dreams as well. So it is a win-win situation in my opinion. So I wanted to share with you 6 different ways of selling designer handbags, and 4 of the 6 ways I've personally tried. And yeah, I'm gonna talk about my 2 favorite ways first, and then I'm gonna tell you about the 2 that I personally tried, and then 2 at the end I haven't personally tried, but I'll recommend some videos that you can watch of the ladies that really go into detail with those options. And of course, before we get into it all, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Isabelle and I do videos on luxury and fashion all the time. So if you're into these sorts of videos, I'd love it if you subscribe to my channel. And with that out of the way, let's talk about my very favorite way of selling my handbags. So the first and my favorite way of selling handbags is through using a consignment service. If you're not familiar with consignment service, what it is a company or an individual who sells items on behalf of you. So they take on the risk, they do all the advertising and contacting the potential buyers and all of that. Once the item is sold, they'll usually take a small fee for their services and they'll pass you on the rest of the money that the item was sold for. So I especially really like this because it is very hassle-free. You don't really have to worry about getting scammed. You don't have to waste a lot of your time replying to people that could be time wasters that aren't really serious about purchasing your item. And you guys know that I have partnered up with the Purse Affair before. This video is completely not even sponsored, but I wanted to share my experience with you. I actually sold 3 Chanel bags with the Purse Affair. Yes, 3. And I'm going to do an updated handbag collection video sometime soon in the next couple of weeks. So if you want to see which bags are missing, then stay tuned for that video. But anyway, I did use the Purse Affair to sell 3 of my Chanel bags, and the process couldn't have been any easier, especially for the Australians. There's not that many huge consignment companies that you can go through. If you're based in the US, there are a lot. Like you can consign with The Real Will, you can consign with Fashion File. There are a lot more options, but here in Australia, we are a smaller population and I think we have a smaller luxury market. So there's not a lot of services out there. So if you're an Aussie and if you're looking for a consignment service who can help you sell your bags, I definitely recommend the Purse Affair. First of all, their fees are really reasonable. They're definitely on the low side. They charge a flat rate of 15% off your purchase price, and that's usually made up by them being able to sell your items for a higher price than if you were to try and sell it yourself on eBay or on your social channels, because they are professional and they are trusted. And my biggest worry when I am selling items is if I send my item over and either the item gets lost in transit, that stresses me out a lot, or the buyer can be a little bit scammy and say, you know, you sent the wrong thing or it wasn't as described and all of that. So I love the fact that the consignment service can take all of that headache away from you. And the Purse Affair is amazing in that they actually insure all of the items that comes through to their business. So when you're sending your items over for consignment, you don't actually have to pay for insurance or any of that headache. So I personally found it really easy to sell through them. You guys know that I've sold a few of my luxury items in a vlog sale here on my channel before. The reason why I chose to go with the Purse Affair to sell some of my Chanel bags instead of including them in my vlog sales was because these Chanel items are priced a lot higher than some of the Louis Vuitton pieces or the small leather goods that I've sold on my vlog sales, and it just gave me some anxiety trying to actually go through with the sale myself. So although I knew that I had to pay a small fee to them, I just felt a lot more comfortable consigning with a professional service. So I'm gonna give you a little spoiler. I actually ended up selling my Chanel Jumbo, which was sold for over 6,000 Australian dollars. So with personal post insurance as well, you're only covered up to $5,000 Australian with Australia Post. To sell a bag that is over $6,000, I just didn't want that sort of anxiety with it. So I ended up selling that with the Persever. Yeah, I did sell my jumbo, and I'll get into it. It was a very tough decision, but I made the decision. Anyway, I will talk about that in a separate video, why I sold some of my Chanel bags. So I found it really hassle-free to sell through a consignment service, and all of my items sold within like 2 days, and I was paid within like 4 days after sending the item to them. And they do have a worldwide audience, so they only take consignment items from Australians, but they sell items worldwide, so they can find a buyer really quickly for you. And also, I wanted to remind you guys, if you haven't entered the giveaway that I am partnering up with the Persever for on Instagram, we are giving away 2 amazing prizes. So one of them is the toiletry pouch from Louis Vuitton in size 19 monogram, and the other one is Christmas special edition mini pochette from last year. So make sure you head over to Instagram and enter the giveaway if you haven't done so already, because it does finish this Sunday, and all of the instructions on how to enter the giveaway will be under that post. So I wanted to also remind you of the giveaway as well. Not many days left, so make sure you enter, and good luck to everyone. Yeah, so if you want to try the consignment service out with my particular experience with the Persever, all you need to do is go onto their website and submit your item for a quote. So you just need to take some photos, leave your details, and they'll get back to you within a couple of days, and they'll give you a free quote, no obligations. If you're happy with the quote, then you go ahead with the consignment agreement. But yeah, very, very easy. And I think I'll continue to consign with them in the future if I've got higher priced items that I don't want to risk selling myself. The second option of selling your items, and I do love this method as well, is to sell on your social accounts. So if you do have a decent amount of following on Instagram or YouTube, then you can put a post up saying that you're selling something from your collection, and usually your followers will trust you. It goes both ways. You trust your followers to do the right thing by you, and they trust you to do the right thing by them, and they generally have been following you, so they already know that you're a real person selling the real items. So personally, I've done 2 vlog sales here on YouTube, and I was really happy with the outcome of both sales. Everything went really quickly. Everyone was really lovely. All my buyers were amazing. They always let me know when they received the item. It was just so smooth, and it's kind of a win-win situation because I'm able to sell these items without a huge fee. I mean, there's PayPal fee, which is 4%, but that's nothing compared to say 30% that some of these consignment services charge. And then the other thing is, because we're saving on the fee, the buyer generally gets a better price as well. Of course, there's a lot more work involved if you are selling your items on your own, because you do need to answer all the emails, package the items, insure them yourself. There's a lot more work involved than if you were to pay someone, as in a consignment service, to deal with all of that, but you do need to pay the consignment fee. And I just wanted to say, if any of you luxury lovers out there have been contemplating on starting an Instagram or a YouTube channel, I do definitely recommend it for you guys, because I actually thought about starting a channel for the longest time before I decided to actually do it and sat down and filmed my very horrible first video. But I am so glad that I did that. That was back in 2018, I think middle of the year or so. It's definitely been really amazing for me. It started as a really nice hobby, and now I'm committing myself a lot more to my channel. But yeah, I just wanted to say, if any of you are contemplating on starting a channel, then now's the time. A lot of people are home watching YouTube videos. I'm sure you're home more as well because of the whole social isolation situation. So yeah, I encourage any of you to start a YouTube channel. And if you end up starting a channel, do let me know. Comment down below, or email me, and I'd love to check out your videos. So I do encourage anyone to do so. If you end up starting a YouTube channel, and this is definitely not the reason to start a channel to be able to sell your pre-loved items, of course not, but it is a nice way to let go of some of the items that you're not enjoying anymore, because you have a really strong community around you. So yeah, that is my other favorite way of going through these sales. The third way is to sell through eBay. eBay is not too bad because the fees are lower and you can generally pick your buyers. And I've sold a couple of Louis Vuitton items on eBay prior to starting my channel. I believe I sold one in 2017, maybe both both items. I actually sold a Louis Vuitton favorite clutch in the PM size in monogram back in 2016 maybe, and back in 2017 I also sold a zippy coin purse in the monogram as well, and both of those sales didn't go all too bad and I found a buyer quickly, and I was lucky I didn't really have any issues. eBay fees are around the 10% mark, and this is why you can just see it is so much better to go with the consignment service, because eBay will charge you 10% and then you'll get charged the 4% PayPal fee, which ends up being about 14% anyway, and you have to deal with all of the headaches and risk yourself. All in all, eBay isn't too bad, but you need to be very, very vigilant when you're selling the items on eBay, because you are selling to a stranger and some people are nasty out there. I once watched a video from Erica, from Erica's Girly World. I absolutely love her channel. She is so funny. I just love everything about her. She's an educated engineer. She's like a superwoman. Anyway, so I watched a video on her channel once and she actually got scammed on eBay. The person that bought her Valentino bag opened a dispute on PayPal saying that she received a fake, inauthentic item when Erica actually sold an authentic item. So if a dispute like that happens, the resolution that PayPal will give the seller and the buyer as a compromise would be the seller has to refund the payment to the buyer and the buyer just ships the item back. But what happens with these dodgy, scammy people is that they will get their refund, and then what they'll do is they'll actually keep the bag, the authentic bag that you sent, and they'll send you back a fake bag. So after I watched that video, I'd say if you are selling on eBay or on any platform where you might be selling to a stranger, just make sure that you document the whole process of you posting out the bag. So have someone with you to film the whole process of you packaging the bag. So show the bag first in detail and have someone film that whole process of you packing it up, boxing it up, sealing it off, and then handing it over to the post office officer. That way, if anyone opens a dispute, you've got a piece of evidence that what you sent was an authentic item. So I do still think that eBay is a good way to sell, but I take extra precautions. The next option of selling your luxury bags is to use a local online marketplace. Here in Australia, Gumtree is probably the biggest one, and I think in the US you've got Craigslist. So these online marketplaces are places where you can list your items and you can organize a local pickup with cash, payment. So these things are a lot more like a garage sale on a larger scale. I did sell one Gucci bag that I bought on sale like 5-6 years ago. The resale value of that bag was horrible. And all in all, the sale was pretty easy. I think I met the person at a shopping center and gave them the bag and, took the cash. So it's kind of like selling a piece of furniture on one of these websites, and yes, they just come and pick it up. The pro of selling it this way would be that you generally don't have to pay a fee. I'm not sure about the other countries, but Gumtree here in Australia, you don't really need to pay a fee from my experience. And the con would be that you are pretty limited to selling locally. So a lot of the times you will sell within your local area, so you don't have a huge sort of market of potential buyers. But yeah, that is another good option if you are comfortable with the whole face-to-face thing. Now, the last two methods I haven't actually used myself, so I'm gonna direct you to some of the lovely ladies I watch here on YouTube. So the next way to sell your pre-loved items would be through Facebook groups. So there are Chanel groups, Louis Vuitton groups for your local area. So I know there's a Chanel Australia group, the Louis Vuitton Australia group, and I think in the US it's called the Ritzy groups. And I personally don't really use my Facebook account, which maybe I should, but anyway. But I hear selling through these groups is a really good way of selling your items because you are dealing with legitimate luxury lovers, and these people in these groups have been approved by the admin people as well. So a random person couldn't join these groups without an invite or without getting the approval of the admin. So I suggest that you check out Purse on Fleek. Hi babe, if you're watching, she is so knowledgeable. Her name's Mel. She has a huge wealth of knowledge, so I do recommend checking her video out on the way she sells her Hermes bags because she's an Hermes lover. Yeah, but the same goes for any designer bags. You can find a Facebook group on the different brands anyway, so check her channel out. And then the last way that I will suggest is using an online marketplace that's much bigger, like Vestiaire Collective or Poshmark. So I personally haven't used these services before, before, but from what I know, Vestiaire Collective, you do need to send your item in, and when it gets sold, you get the money. Vestiaire Collective will hold the item for you, and then when it's sold, they'll handle the shipping and everything. But from what I've heard, the fees are quite high, so 30% or something, a little bit higher than the consignment services that I've mentioned before. And my friend Colorful Noir, she has a video sharing her experience in terms of selling designer items, and she does share her experience with Vestiaire Collective. Also, Person Flick does too. So I'll leave links to both of those ladies' videos in the description section, so do check them out if you do want to find out more about how to sell through these ways. So that is it for this video, guys. Don't forget to head over to the Purse of Best Instagram to enter our giveaway if you haven't done so already. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. As always, thank you so much for watching and spending some of your precious time with me today, and I can't wait to see you again soon in my next video. Bye guys!